So I'm Harrison. I am a drag performer. I go by the name Kasha Kard. I'm trying to think what the rest of the question was. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. So, and share what do
personally,
you? Yes.
I also work as a care advisor, so I book people appointments into care homes and help them if they need any help along those lines.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And what do you do creatively?
Creatively, I am a drag queen. So I do drag performances every now and then. Just to give a little joy and give a little
Sounds
to everyone.
good. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Drag name?
Kasha Kard.
And the Instagram?
Oh gosh, Kasha Kard. So easy.
Yeah, how do we spell it?
Kashakard.
Perfect. So whoever is watching the video will know now.
Exactly.
Yeah, what about you? Please explain.
Okay, so my name's Tom Stock and I run a non-profit called Collidescope. It's the words collide and scope put together. So if you put Collidescope and then .uk, you can see our website and our socials. I've been working in management of different events and areas for about, over 10 years now. And I found that doing lots of community outreach stuff to different minority groups and people and promoting their creativity really gives me joy and also gives them joy. So.
As in, what got me to do drag? A lot. It's always been something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, and I never had the opportunity to ever be able to where I originally was. I'll get into a lot more in a bit, but basically when I moved up to Colchester, it was one of the few things I really wanted to do, and lo and behold, April hit, and Kasha Kard was officially on the stage for the first time performing.
Ooh,
so
cool, that's cool.
she's still very new, but she's getting there.
Just a baby.
She's a baby.
We all start from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That's good. What about you?
So I got into community work quite early in life because through my nan, who did a lot of teas and coffees for old people and that kind of thing in the community. And I thought it was really lovely because she got to touch in with people and get all the gossip and find out about what people were going through, but also have a nice cup of tea. And there's something really nice and simple about that, just meeting, old friends, new friends, and just having a chat. And I think that it's something that I've always struggled with work, because when you get into a work environment, there is a tendency, if it is a job in management or some kind of higher position, you then have to kind of focus, that becomes your life.
Yeah.
And you kind of lose that sense of community because you can't see your friends as much, or you're not spending as much time with people you care about.
True.
So then you feel it can be a bit overwhelming when your work takes over your life. So to find that balance for me, I got into community organisation, and I organised meetups for LGBTQ people in Braintree area. When I was at university, I was part of the student LGBTQ society. All those kind of things. I just kind of got involved a little bit, and then I saw where the gaps were. So people would be oh, there's not a place that maybe non-binary or trans people feel they can come along. So then I'd be okay, so if I organised a space for you and we all had a coffee, is it something that you'd want to do privately, or do you want, what do you want basically? Because then I can give you something that you've asked for, and then it gives people an opportunity to come together and feel supported. Because some people, I'm really good at organisation. Some people just look at it and go, I wouldn't even know where to start. So if I can help people do that, then I can let them do what they want to do, if that makes sense. And also it's a way, because I found that because I'm an outgoing person, I found it quite easy to make friends, but I also found it quite challenging to really make deeper connections. So to do things that are get people together regularly, you can get to know people better. Whereas rather than it kind of being more like a social group that maybe goes to the cinema or reads a book, they're kind of focused around the act of cinema or book. Whereas when I put my community events together, there's such a variety of things going on that I feel people they can get to know each other around the variety of things, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So like, if you don't like poetry, that's fine. You know you're going to have like a lovely drag performer coming up soon, or singer or something.
Yeah.
But then you might actually, because you're listening to the poetry, you might actually realise that you do like it, or maybe drag's not for you, but you see a drag performer sing a song you love, and suddenly it makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, keeping everything varied gives people opportunities to discuss different things. And we also do talk about heavy things at the event. Some people want to talk about their sobriety journeys, their mental health, which is also a great platform. You know, we do ask people not to say anything that might be triggering to other people, but then also I think there is a place for someone saying, hey, I'm really struggling this week. I'm, you know, so many years sober. Can I have a little bit of, like, thank you for that?
Yeah.
Like, the audience would always thank them, and people would always go up to them afterwards and say, well done, because, you know, life's hard.
So with fragile strength, I will take it. I'm very much I will take it at literal, like, face value kind of.
That's the drag name.
What, literal face value? as
Yeah,
well?
literally. Give me your cash, give me your card.
God, there we go.
But no, fragile strength, mental health is very much it's very much an easy, like, as you said, it's a fragile strength. It's something that's very much, it's easy to control, but it's just as easy to lose, in the best way to explain it for me. I'm trying to think where I'm going with this sentence.
You can take your time.
I'm getting there. I think that it is very much a case of it's very much a case of it's something that God, it's a really tough sentence to say.
It's your life journey.
It's a life journey. It's very much fragile strength. It's like, it's good to be seen as strong, but it's strong physically, but it's just as good to be felt, like, be strong, like, mentally as well. The amount of resolve that you can have from being in, like, being able to control or have power with your mental health is something that it can be given and taken away, and it's very much a case of, when you have that power, people who think that they can break that will be feared for that situation. And I think that's the best way to explain it. In my mind, it's a weird way to explain it, but it's very much it's very much a case of, once you have that resolve, people will see you in a different light, strength-wise. It may be a positive light, maybe a negative light, but it's your light.
So, like, I think there's a lot of things to do with, like, masculinity and the male kind of way of life that don't focus on the things that are actually important to men. And one of them is, you know, a strong mindset and a dedication to something, right? Men kind of thrive when they've got something to focus on. It could be their families, their kids, they could have a really good job, they could be a partner, they could be a lover, they could be a leader in a community, they could be good at sports or have a passion, whatever it is. And I think men thrive really strongly when they've got that vision, that dedication. But also, that's not what being strong is about. It's actually being strong in your passion for something, in your love for something, and expressing that. And it's something that, it's funny that, you know, strength of mind and body are really important, but also actually having those softer sides, and, you know, being able to be gentle when you need to be, and be calm when you need to be. Because that's what's nice about the opposition of a fragile strength. Where you kind of go, being vulnerable and being open about how you feel and what matters to you is really important. And it's not about how people respond, it's about you wanting to express that. It doesn't matter about if somebody laughs at you or if somebody you know, responds to you. It can be positive or negative, it doesn't matter, but being strong in yourself and knowing, well, I'm feeling sad today, or I'm feeling really energized and passionate about something today, and leaning into that and being true to that. Because I think a lot of people, men and women, we always get easily distracted by life. You know, am I to this, am I to that, am I not this, am I not that, do I look right, do I not? how do I feel, how do people feel about me, we get kind of confused. So having that quiet strength, like that fragile strength really nicely holds, you know, can be quite, you know, it's a gift. And it's also like fragile in itself, you know, feeling fragile or being mentally or physically fragile is it passes, right? Being strong passes, you know, they're kind of fluid emotions, they express themselves in different ways, and you can be feeling really fragile inside, but hold yourself outside, and vice versa. You can be really strong in yourself, but want to be open and gentle with others. So.
True.
So a little bit of backstory about me to cut a long story short. I basically came here a year doing maths. So about 2 years ago, trying to do maths in my head, 2 years ago, basically I lost my flat due to my mental health basically suffering full pelt to the point of I basically ran away from where I was. Didn't tell anyone at all. Like my work didn't know, my parents didn't know. It was a case of I kept it away from everyone because I was ashamed, I was afraid. And it came to a head when, because I was living and being homeless, things suffer, your mental health suffers, your hygiene suffers and stuff like that. And I ended up losing my job. And it was at that moment where I finally broke and was at the edge of like, I'm done, where I ended up finally calling my dad and going, hey, here's the situation, let me know. He brought me up to Colchester, and from that point on, we started the process of trying to get me back on track, being okay, getting in the forefront. And honestly, that day was probably the best day in my life, but also the most like mentally breaking one as well. With the help that I got through, I'm trying to remember, is it Crouch Street? The
Sens.
No, not before Sens.
Oh.
Well, with the what's the Christian? The one that's on Crouch Street.
Heart Foundation, Red Cross.
No, may I quickly just do a quick Google? But no, they basically helped me get everything. They got me my universal credit. They got
Beacon House.
Beacon House.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Beacon
The
House,
one by the bus stop. Yeah.
Legend Road. Yeah.
Lovely lady called Lisa basically sat me down and was like, we're going to get you on this. She gave a call to Sens, who basically said, yeah, there's a room available. I got there, had a discussion, did all the things that we needed to do, and they got me on track. They got me into Life Force, so I was able to get myself therapy.
Amazing.
They introduced me to Mr. Tom because I was looking for LGBT communities where I could reach out, because even though, yes, I had my family, it sucked that I didn't have like any LGBT community. So
That's crazy, isn't it?
I know. Literally, if it wasn't for Sens, I wouldn't have met you.
How long it took you to find the community?
Would you say it was quite easy for me to like?
I think
I
got
my
the
personality
email from
anyway. Yeah.
I think I got the email from Lisa, and then I think I had a Collidescope event maybe within a month from that.
No, it was during Pride Month last year.
Oh, it was Pride Month.
So you had the entire event space.
Yeah.
That was available.
Yeah, so I had a pop-up in Culver Square, a bit like kind of, you've got this beautiful gallery space here, we had a shop front and we decorated it, and so...
And that's how I got to meet Tom. And from that I had Collidescope. I also had the Outhouse down the road, who were the two core like benefactors of me creating a community and being able to live and be large. Also at the same time, whilst I was still at Sens, there was an event during Pride Month, which was a makeup tutorial for drag queens, where I got to meet some of the local drag queens.
Really, first time?
No, yes, it was at first sight.
Oh, that's
so I got. It was a.
Wasn't that Sam Androgynes?
It was Androgynes,
yes.
Charlotte, and Tracy, and I also saw you again. All doing it, and they basically taught me how to do eyebrows. Sam complimented me on my eyebrows. I was like, thank you very much. And basically how to do like a start. And then after that, I then moved to, because once you go to Sens, they sort you out for future placements. So once I moved from Sens, I then moved to Phoenix Homes, which was another member of the community that I was able to speak to, like get to know. They helped extend my therapy and stuff like that to make sure it continues. I'm hoping that it's all still working. And then go from there. And through that, I also, like, mental health wise was improving. I ended up helping out with the Cultures Fringe Festival because by that time I'd met my boyfriend, and he helped me out in like going introducing. Ironically, I met Cam before I met my boyfriend, even though he was at the same social, the same time.
Fair.
But it was a case of I created a community that helped me support. I met other like drag queens who were able to just sit me down and go, "You are a good performer. You can do this. You can do it in drag." Had to postpone it because there was a large amount of stuff over Christmas. But then, as of April, everything kind of fell into place. I was able to start doing drag, and the moment I put on that makeup, I literally was like, I am a different person. This is, I felt comfortable, I felt happy. There's a reason why it's my like lock screen. It's a picture of me in drag because it's the most happiest I've been in so long. And I genuinely was quite happy about it. And it also is like a good time in my life because at the same time I was moving in with my boyfriend, making sure everything was all okay. And then like all of this has succumbed to me now performing, being asked to do performances. Like currently I've done performances in Clacton, Dragonfly in Town, and also I've done a performance in Colchester, yes, at the Mercury Theatre in Colchester, with hopefully more to come in the future. So I'm very much living my best life, to say the least. I've made myself a lot more happier from where I am now.
Yeah.
So I'm very.
So you've gone from fragile to strength.
I've gone, like I said earlier when I said about fragile strength, it's a case of once you take control of that, it makes you more powerful as a person.
True.
And you've seen me from when I was quite unfortunate. I was like very shy, very not knowing. Compared to now, how would you say I am?
180.
Yeah. I can look back at it now and just be like, it happened, but if it didn't happen, I would not. Kasha Kard wouldn't exist if all this didn't happen. This is the weirdest thing, and I've said it in therapy many a time as well. Like, it's very much a case of I don't want to think about the what if, because the what happened is a lot better for me and how I am now. So that's how I think about it.
Can I just hold space for a little bit of what you just said? So I don't want to think about the what if, because what happened.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Because if you think about what if, you start spiraling and you start going down. If you think about what happened, then it's like, okay, that happened, you can move on from there.
Yeah, you're dealing with the most recent, and you're going, okay, how do I respond to this? Rather than think about, oh my God, it first started when I was, a teenager and I got rejected or something like that, and it's quite interesting that that comes up on the topic of men's mental health, because I think that a lot of men don't realise that they're maybe fixating mentally on things that are like so like, that first rejection, or that getting dumped, or not getting that promotion, and maybe they go into new spaces with that same feeling of apprehension, but they're meant to go in them and be kind of like powerful. And so how do you kind of go, well, I'm going to fake it, or am I going to deal with what happened to me so I can move past it?
There's another discussion that with like fragile masculinity in general anyway. When men don't feel like, I'm not saying generic men, but a large amount of men, because of how we've been brought up and how we've been raised, they don't see themselves as strong enough. The anxiety and the depression kicks in very fast, and I had that for a very long time. I was never the strongest kid. I was all about, you've seen I'm very agile on my feet, I'm very energetic. That's always my go-to.
Firecracker when they're...
I have the video somewhere, I'll show you later.
You get tired just watching.
Doing that again on Thursday, maybe. I'm looking forward to that. But it's a case of, thank you, it's a case of because they aren't able to see that, they full on. I saw myself as, I knew I was never going to be the strongest person in the room. I'm not going to be strong. I understand that, and I'm fully, completely fine with that. Because I have other strengths that aren't just physical. I have strengths that are mental and are a resolve that terrifies people in the kindest way.
And that's a good point, because I think if a man doesn't feel like they are good at something or competent at something or feel pride or passion in something, it could be being a good dad or being a good in their job or whatever, as I mentioned earlier, then there is a way that can ebb away at you, and it can kind of make you. Everyone needs a bit of support and validation sometimes, and it's not wrong to ask for it, but I think also you need to kind of let people show you through their actions. Are they showing up for you? Are they there for you? Are they listening to you? Are you doing the same for them?
True.
Because I think sometimes men can be perhaps a little bit, as you said earlier, kind of a bit self-absorbed, a bit me. I'm not strong enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. When it's actually like, well, hang on. You've got support and friends that love you and care for you. You've got family. You've got other things positive in your life. Take it away from how you feel about yourself. How do those people feel about you? Do they show that they love you? Do you show that in return? Because sometimes simple things like that are a better focus than how you feel internally if you're struggling.
So this is going to be a very weird one, but it's also going to be very kind of dark. So my performances recently, I've been going through all the songs that I've been interested in going in. I've noticed one very big connotation. So another thing about me, and I'm very open and honest about it, I did try to end my life a few years back because I wasn't, it was quite traumatic, but it was one of those cases getting to the very end and calling the ambulance and being like, I just want to take mental health ward, take mental health ward, and then just do all that. I am now in that place where I can just face death and laugh in its face. Not in a daredevil kind of way, but my performances now all involve some form of discussion about death or something along those lines. Whether it be a housewife plotting to murder her best friend, or just talking about losing family members in general. So I've noticed that connotation a lot, but I'm also very much an emotional performer anyway. So if I find a song that hits me in the right way, it's gonna be I will probably bawl in tears. I have a multitude of songs that will do that to me, and I don't know why. One of them I do know is not about death, but it's related to death, and that's weirdly Beauty and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. But the only reason that hit me was because it was my mum's funeral song. So it's one of those ones that I was watching a perform the other day, and I'm, like I said earlier, I'm very in touch with my emotions. I'm watching it and I'm just like, I'm gonna cry. But my self-expression when it comes to Kasha is very much, I will put my heart on my sleeve, but at the same time, I want to give a good performance. So by putting my heart on my sleeve, I will amp up that performance like no tomorrow. I want people to feel the emotions I'm feeling, even though they're all very happy feelings that I give off. We said earlier, I'm very energetic. The song that I do is Do Your Thing by Basement Jaxx. And I will make sure that everyone in that audience, and Tom will vouch for me on this one, is part of that performance, whether they want to be or not. They will be cheering and making sure that they have a great time. But my self-expression is very much that, but also I think I interact with people more because I have my drag persona very much has mama bear energy, to say the least. So I will perform with you because I want to make you feel like you're part of the group. I'm very much I've been through shit, so I'm here to help you on this side as well. And I think that's how it works out. I express it by being supportive is the best way to explain it. I think that's all I got on that one. It helps as well when it comes to me looking at performances as well, because I always pick my performance choices that I pick are always ones that I want people, like as I said, I want people to be involved. So I will hold a hand. I will make sure the audience is like fully, like I have, as much as I have their attention, they have mine as well.
Yeah.
It's what I want to give, because at the end of the day, no one should be left out of a performance.
True.
Like, you're there to perform, yes, but you're also there to make people, like, give people a reason to enjoy the performance. It's the best way to explain it for me.
Being vulnerable and being open about your experiences is so important, because you realise that's what the choice you had to make when you run your dad.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, so you don't want anyone else to be in that situation and take as long to do that. You want them to have somebody or someone or some way of communicating, being like, help.
True.
Which is why, like, I enjoy like charities such, for example, Collidescope. They because they work with SENS. Like, I feel like they say, hey, this is a great way for me to give back. Like, I've done a few performances for it, so it's feels good to give back in that way.
Yeah.
It's very much my personality as well because of that.
So I think I have at a young age, I was exposed to lots of art and museums, and it was always something my family have been very supportive at. You know, I'm not a sporty person, so being creative was my outlet. And I remember I won like a competition in the newspaper.
Ooh, that's cool.
And they like put my art in the newspaper. Yeah. And I remember thinking at the time, like that was rubbish. Like almost embarrassed, because I was like, if my colouring like won the competition, like, babes, like either life's gonna be really easy, or like, because if that's the standard, or I'm gonna always try and better myself, right? And I think that, you know, everyone at this table feels the value in creative expression of all kinds, and we also appreciate, even if it's something that we're maybe not familiar with or a fan of, directly we can be like, oh, like you do this and you do that, and that's great, because, you know, you can see the expression of, you know, look at the wonderful art in this room, you know, it's fantastic. You can see the feeling and emotion and the storytelling. And I think that for me, I always wanted to tell stories, express. I always had a great appreciation, went to museums growing up, and having these things inspire you makes you want to go out into the world and either express yourself in similar ways, you know, have art or have writing or expression, or you want to lift others up. You know, I don't have enough time, sadly, in my life to create art in the way that I would like to, but I get to support artists that do in all different ways by putting on the events and giving that opportunity. So it's like the trade-off for me is the fact that life is hard for everyone, but these people still find time to follow their passions. Yeah. And I think I really respond to that, and that's how I do things. You know, you said how it informs my creative practice, and it's through that, you know, I have good days and bad days. And if I'm having a bad day, I can at least know that, oh, I've got an event coming up where a lot of people are going to show off their talents, and it's okay that I didn't necessarily finish reading that book that's been on the shelf for 2 months, or do that doodle, or do that thing that you were planning to do, right? So because I know that I've got this special event coming up, or I get to have a wonderful afternoon like this, you know, doing something creative and just talking, you know, those little things are important. But I think like continually doing that means that my creative practice just grows and grows and grows, and we all kind of create connections through that. Yeah. Good question. So when Harry first said they wanted to do drag and stuff, my way of building them up would be, okay, so who have you talked to? Have you talked to the drag artists? Where do you feel like maybe you're going to struggle the most? If it's like costume or makeup or, you know, dancing, these are some people I can recommend. Also, if you do want to have a little practice, we can work out, you know, a space where you can practice if you can't do it at home. So like little things like that mean that I can, as a producer, you know, doing events and kind of giving them that opportunities to grow. Because in my head, I'm thinking, hang on, if I help people, like countless people in some way over the next, say, 10 years, maybe one of them is going to be like mega famous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
and
get
then
that.
maybe when they win like a Brit Award or when they win like Drag
There'll be an
Race,
acceptance speech.
do you know what I mean? Like, and then people will be like, who's that? Like, what's that? What's that all about? And then like suddenly I'll get like a flood of Instagram followers or something, and then I'll be able to like be doing bougie sponsorships with like, I don't know, like Capri Sun or something. You know, like Jet2 holiday. But do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I like the process of like getting people together, appreciating talent, and also expressing themselves. But also at the same point, like I want to get to a space where I don't have to do the whole thing. And so I think I'm nurturing people and leading them so that maybe somebody goes to me, hey, I'd love to host, or I'd love to organise an event on your behalf, Tom, can we work together? Because as you know, because it's a hard job being a one-man band.
Yeah.
And it's the same as a drag artist. You have to do
You're
everything
being your
for
soul.
yourself.
You're being your sole, like,
And on top of that,
promoter.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
sorting out all the things,
Yep.
and making sure that all your
Yep.
funds and everything are all
Yep.
sorted.
People on this table understand this.
and it's hard, but at least I know if there's always somebody who's benefiting, so you keep going, right?
True.
And
And
there's
it's that
also
keeping going.
always someone you can ask. Like,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, you may be alone in that field, but never feel like you're alone in
Exactly.
that sense.
Yeah.
So there will always be someone that will be able to help you out in one way, shape, or form.
And I think the benefit, because again, we live in a capitalist society, and life's hard enough already. So there is a hope that somebody somewhere falls on their feet in a way that exceeds our current capacity, so that then they pay it forward the same way you've paid it forward. Like, we don't expect anything in return, but what we do expect is a balance that they can pay it forward to somebody else. So like, you know, Kasha Kard, for example, she will be one of the first people that will help the next drag queens that want to start, because people have helped her.
Oh, that's
And it's the journey, right?
You'll find that people will look, because I said this to a couple of queens last night because I was socialising with them, and I was like, I look up to two. Like I said to them, I look up to two of them. It was Pansy and Constance.
Well, they're very tall, so
They're very tall anyway, yes. But it's, I spoke to them and basically was like, I look up to you guys. And I'm like, no, we look up to you as well because you do things that we can't do. And I'm like, literally, it made me smile and made me very happy because it was like, I've only been doing this for 4 months and they're already like, you're doing things in your shows that are very much, we want to incorporate in some way, shape or form. And I'm like, good. Like, it's a sense of, it's a weird way to say it's a sense of accomplishment. But it feels good to know that you're, like, as I said earlier, it feels good to know that you're helping and then going from there. Like, even in ways that you don't realise until someone tells you otherwise. I've said all the ones that helped me. I've been very lucky in that time that none of them have really helped me as much. Unfortunately, I will have to say the one that did probably was when I did try to end my life. The unfortunate one that did. I used to live in Southend. Southend's like hospital is not the best in my opinion. That's just me. But their mental health unit, I feel, did fail me in that regards because I was in my worst place possible, and it just did not like help me in the way that was correct. But then moving to Colchester, it helped me a lot more. Helped me get my journey. Like the hospitals helped more. They were able to like put me on track, get me all these places. Community helped me a lot. The only time that I felt that I wasn't getting the help was when I doubted myself in the best way. Like when I did a show at the Mercury Theatre, and my makeup style is something that it very much needs improving a lot in my personal opinion. And when I sat down and I did my makeup before I went to the show, and I sat down, everyone else had their makeup on, and I looked at everyone else's makeup and I immediately judged myself, and I went very much into myself very quickly. I was like, oh my god, why am I doing this now? Why am I doing this? Because for Colchester, I was doing the cocktail cabaret, and to do the cocktail cabaret is like an understatement in itself. It's like would you say it's probably one of the bigger drag performances, or?
I would probably say
it's probably one of the notable.
It's a tick box.
It's a tick box.
If you are a drag artist in Colchester and you haven't done cocky cabs,
sort
it out.
Yeah.
Sort it out.
It's a, and I got to do it, and I literally was looking around at everyone else's makeup and thinking, am I a fraud? Am I a sister? Like, but then I kicked myself out of it and then did my performance. And when I got the cheer and I got the, oh my gosh, everyone's amazed, I was able to run backwards up a set of stairs.
Yeah,
I was prepared. And literally, it was that moment where I was like, once I finished and I heard the applause and the cheer, I'm like, now I know why I'm doing this. Now I know why I'm good at this. And then going from there. So I've been, like I said, I've been very lucky that the community as a whole hasn't failed me in that regards. And like, if they do, I'm not going to hold it against them. Like, at the end of the day, failures happen, whether it's by inflicted or indirectly.
Yeah.
So what's the point in having a go at someone who's trying to help you? Because you never know, this could be a one-off and they might be able to help you in the long run, or something like that. I'm a free spirit in that way, is the best way to explain it. But I've been very lucky. Nonetheless, is my journey here. So that's all good for me so far.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's true. Failure happens, right, somewhere or other. What's your take on this one?
It's a difficult one because there's too many people to thank to get Collidescope where it is, but also to get on my journey personally. I would say what we need to accept as creatives and, expressive people is that everywhere we look, there's failure, right?
Yes.
I've done so many grants and applications, got nothing, but then somewhere, somebody who I met randomly has said, oh, I'll happily donate. And it just, the universe is very mysterious. And I think for me, all you can do is keep trying, right? Failure is a very weird, loaded word. There's so many people that I've probably been too blunt with, or I've not listened when they needed me to listen because I didn't have the capacity. And, to them, that's a failure on my part, but also we're human beings, right?
True.
I can't make every space I want, every event to be accessible. I can't make it so that it's affordable. We try and make things open to everyone, but actually, unless you've got a specific type of disabled toilet, are you? Yeah. Unless, disabled people or people with mental health issues or people that have certain requirements have a space to sit comfortably for themselves or a quiet space away from other people. Is it an accessible space? Is it an open space?
Yeah, fair enough.
That's just so we do fail each other quite regularly. Also, on the other end of the spectrum, at the end of the day, the trying is what matters, right? It's not about the success or the failure. It's more about the trying. So I would say I don't hold a grudge to anyone that has maybe let me down or denied any kind of support or anything. But what I do is I remember it so that when I do succeed in things, I know that I did it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that people don't really understand. Like, if you have an expression of artistic and you want to put it on the stage or you want to show it to people, well then, and you don't know how, you don't get into a gallery or they don't book you for a stage, even if it's paid or unpaid, doesn't matter. So, and you want to put your work out there, how do you do it? How do you work around it? How do you go above it? How do you go? So again, it's like, there's no failure in the fact that you didn't get that gallery or you didn't get that performance slot. It's just you're not meant to do it yet, because it will feel even better if you do get there. You know, and you just keep on trying in different ways. So I think for me, I'd just like to thank everyone that's supported Collidescope and me on my journey. And also thank everyone that didn't, really, because, you know, when you do it anyway, there's just such a niceness, because we get in our heads that I need this much money and I need this much people, skill sets in my teams and all this. But actually, sometimes just ringing up a few friends and going, come round and we'll just like collage.
True.
That's enough.
Fair enough.
I don't want things easy.
It's fun when you have some...
Because then when they get hard, I can't cope.
True,
right?
true,
It's
true.
mental health, right?
True.
If you have an easy life and you come from money or come from privilege in some way, and everyone kind of goes, yes, oh my God, you're great, and everyone tells you you're great, and then suddenly somewhere somebody goes, I know you're not right for this job, or no. And you go, your brain explodes.
So since coming into my new role, ended up in February, I decided to do things. They announced that they had a couple of roles available, and I was like, screw it, I haven't got anything to lose, and I went for it. They literally, when I did my interview, they were very impressed and wished to put me towards future things in the future. It's a case of, if you don't, like Tom said, things are never going to be easy, but at the end of the day, if you're not going to find out how hard it's going to be, then what's the point in even trying in the first place? You learn from the experiences as you grow. If you fail, you learn something from that. And then you learn in the future that may be potentially stop you from failing. But if you fail again, but that's still learning improved a little bit, you then go from there. Life is very much in general, life is a work in progress. So keep progressing is the best way to explain it. I'm trying to think. When it comes to, just how my background's my family never really spoke as much about mental health as we should have in that regards. My mum was very an unwell woman. She literally was an Ofsted child from the day she was born until 18. So she had to deal with so much. She then had a liver transplant. She had 2 forms of cancer. She was not supposed to have me. I was not supposed to be born. Basically, when she was told by her nurse to terminate me, and she was like, no, not going to happen. Wow. She's like, well, you're going to die if you have this child. And then she wished that she could meet her, because she survived 21 more years and then passed away. So she literally had the last laugh in that sense. But we never spoke about it as much as we should have for how much it was, because I ended up becoming my mum's carer for a large amount of it. So I always saw it from my point of view as mum always gets knocked down, but she always comes back up, and I was not prepared for the day she passed. I was in the hallway of a hospital, holding a pillow, bawling my eyes out, because I needed to be away from everyone and just people walking past me, just letting me do my thing. And I was in a state and a half, because it was just mum finally lost, and it was a case of I didn't know a world where mum didn't exist. And I wasn't prepared for that. And it didn't help as well that I was in the middle of therapy sessions at the time to prepare. I didn't realise at the time until a bit later that it was basically therapy sessions for preparing for when mum passed away, because they knew she didn't have much longer. I still being very naive and being very, oh, it's fine, she lives through everything, ha ha ha, very optimistic. I crashed, and because of that, I think back then my relationship with mental health was very, very, very fucked in that way, because I didn't get the closure in that regards. So lo and behold, a few years later, finally stable, homelessness, and then finally getting to where I am. Literally as of, I want to say June, I finally had my closure moment of, I feel confident, I feel as I said, the most comfortable version of me that I can be. But dear God, would I have wanted that sooner in that regards. I'm all good.
So
Ask him.
I think generally there's a problem across all industries, all entertainment industries, with working class people. We're being pushed out, we're not being given opportunities. I think the BBC showed a report that I think, don't quote me on it, but it was very low percent of their employees across the board come from working class backgrounds. I think it was, less than 14%, something like that. And the problem is that, as we know, doing lots of community work, the representation is important. So if you haven't got people in the room that are of a varied background or a varied lived experience, then you can't offer insights into that within your programming and within the places you're looking for content, right? Whether it be performers, artists, whatever it is. And it's something that taught me that I needed to go out into the communities and engage and find out what they were needing and find out what they wanted. And it takes time and energy, and I think that's the thing that my upbringing taught me. It's like a bit of patience, if you work hard, you'll see results. And if you go to university, you'll learn things. It may not be the degree that's the actual outcome. It may be something more important that you learn along the way.
True.
And I think it's always my upbringing, working class, it's always been hard. It's always been, on the lower end of, the lower end of the spectrum, free school meals, all that kind of thing. Essentially, you learn to value other things other than money. You value what you put your time into, creativity. You value things that give you joy. They become important rather than chasing wealth or chasing or living a certain life so it looks to other people a certain way, right? Yeah. So I think I would say to, for a male perspective, think about the choices you're making and are they beneficial to you and your loved ones? Does having a new pair of Nikes benefit you and your loved ones? Does having a new mobile phone? Does going on that holiday? And if the answer is yeah, we deserve a holiday, we haven't had one in a few years, it's making memories with the kids, by all means, go on the holiday. By all means, if the Nikes are going to give you a boost of self-esteem or something, great. But if then next week you're going to be wanting to buy something else, look at the reasons behind it. And I think a lot of people think, I feel this, so it must be true. Take yourself back and go, why do you feel this? Why do you think? Have you had an argument with your parents? Have you had a rough day at work? Why do you feel the need to do these behaviours? Because I think looking a little deeper is just so important in all aspects of life. And I think that's something my background taught me. Okay, well, there's the kids on the playground with the new Nike shoes, bragging and being oh, look at your shoes. And I'd be yeah, they're black like they should be. Yeah. They're school shoes, we're kids, who cares?
I can go to Primark and just get a pair, it's completely fine.
But who cares? Okay, cool, that's valuable to you, being Johnny Big Balls. Great, be Johnny Big Balls. Are you happy though? Why do you need to make someone else miserable?
Yeah, just
to make yourself good. Again, listen to your emotions, listen to how you feel, and react that's in a way that's going to respect yourself.
Yes.
Because we all have bad days. We'll say things we shouldn't. But we're not bad people because we think about it and we go, okay, well, if I'll handle this situation different next time. And that's fine. It's the people that go, I said what I said, you don't like it, you deal with it, it's your problem, not mine. Okay, cool. So you actually don't want to admit that you make mistakes and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And talk about your emotions and talk about maybe why you're feeling the way you're feeling, which makes you lash out. So again, I'm just going to stay away from you then. You don't get the benefit of my time, you don't get the benefit of a supportive ear, maybe a bit of light advice, because all you care about is being right, being aggressive.
Yeah. Seeking validation.
And that's a choice, right? Others. The way we live our lives is a choice. That's their choice, and that's fine. You can do it over there quietly, please. It's we're just finishing up, big projects. We're in the midst of them, Artlune and Collidescope. We're in the bulk of it now.
Yeah.
And we're thinking I'm sure you're the same as me. We're looking ahead and being okay, what do I feel was worth, what worked, what would I do differently, how would I do more of something, less of something else? And then you kind of ask yourself, you go, or is it something new now? Because you kind of go, I'm not going to wallow about the things that didn't go as well as I planned. How can I take the things that worked and move them into the next project? And I think like that's a way that we should look at our mental health, a way that we should look at our relationships, you know, because I think it's beneficial in growth and pushing forward.
I personally feel like in that case people are afraid to do so. It takes a lot of confidence in general just to like speak to yourself in general and like be. It's weird to say that it's very tough to be open with yourself, but it is one of those cases that it does happen quite a lot, and people don't realise that if you don't, in some cases it can be very self-destructive, because you don't realise that you don't look at something and just go, what's the issue here? And then if you look in the mirror and go, is it me who's the issue? And then talk yourself through and then go through everything like personally and viably, you can then figure out from there where to go in that process. I knew what I meant, but I don't know if it came out correctly.
Keep going, keep learning. That's it.
Don't.
Simple.
Yeah.
Mine would be, don't be afraid to realise that things are gonna get bad before they get good, and you don't have to be prepared, but be supported is the best way to explain it.
So the government announced, I think it's this week, that they're looking at doing anti-misogyny training in schools. And I think that this is a good sign, and it's a step towards actually the spotlight being on men to self-reflect. No one is asking anyone to pour their heart out to strangers, but I think that we need to change the culture, and I'm hopeful that the culture will change, where especially in heterosexual relationships, the burden of emotional stability is put on the female partner.
Yes.
And the male partner can maybe rely on them in all aspects, whereas when I say that, I mean like, you know, the female partner, and to some extent it does happen in queer relationships, but I would argue that queer relationships are much more community focused. Heterosexual relationships tend to be very much like the female partner is the best friend, is the accountant, is the cleaner, is the, you know, they do multiple roles that perhaps the male in the heterosexual relationship, society doesn't put any of those roles necessarily on him. It is a choice within the partnership, right? So I'd like to see a shift where women who are, you know, mothers, or, you know, women that have multiple hats, multiple roles in their lives that they jump fluidly between. I would like to see men be expected to jump through be more fluid within the roles. They are not just a home, a provider. They are also an emotional support to their kids and their families. They are a leader in their communities if it's something that they feel that they want to do. You know, they go out and they support their friends with them, have difficult conversations, have check-ins. You know, I know lots of male friendships that, you know, oh, have you spoken to Thiggy? You know, and that's who they consider their best friend. They haven't spoken to them in months. And it's like, yes, we're all busy, but we need to put more pressure on men to, I hate to say it, grow up. We all need to. Gay, straight, doesn't matter. We need to grow up, because we need to say, well, hang on, we should support our friends how we want to be supported. We should treat our partners how we want to be treated. We should educate and lead our children and our communities in the ways that we want to be led. And people say, oh, men get a shitty rep. Well, men get a shitty rep because no one wants to take up. No one wants to step up. And the men that are stepping up are being told, oh, you're too weak, or you're too woke, or you're too this. They're being silenced by the men that just want to, you know, bang their fists on the table. You know, we want to build the table, we don't want to destroy it. And I think that's the difference.
way I want to answer that one is more, I've got a target that I want to hit for either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. And that is, I want to get reported because a large amount of mental health can, unfortunately, and it's a stereotype, yes, but it is also unfortunately the truth, can lead to being down the end of the bottle in that regard. And I want to, at some point, work with someone and do like a sober social.
Nice.
Like whether it be like every 2 months, every 3 months, just give them a space where it's like, hey, a space that normally would be like a bar space where it's usually alcoholic, but it's not. You can literally have just like soft drinks for the entirety of those couple of hours, and just let people be able to experience those spaces without feeling like they're having to be coerced into like going down that route, which can then later affect your mental health. And giving those spaces will give people, like I said at the beginning, I'm very much I would like to give back. I enjoy giving that regards, making sure that people can have those spaces, because if they don't have those spaces, who knows what could happen in that regards. So that's the way I answer that one. Is like I've got like my aim is to do that because it's from a mental health point of view that's gonna like help so many people in that regards. Even if it's one tiny thing, you do one little thing and it could have a domino effect that you don't even know about.
True.
I'll go first just because it's not.
We'll do it at the same time.
Dear God, no. I'm artistically, performance-wise, yes. Artistically, in the art way, no. But mine is very much knowing where I am now, but also making a storyboard of where I want to be. It's very much I feel confident in that sense, and where I feel is like a little bit of celebration. I feel like I'm getting there, and I feel luxurious. And basically where I want to be, whether it be within the next 10 years or until like the end of time. Basically, like the two kind of like rooms that I would enjoy. Dear God, I would love a balcony view with them.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. What about you? Yeah, this looks cool.
I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to let everyone read into it. And we recommend everyone come and see this wonderful exhibition. Fragile Strength. It's until
27th of July.
27th of July. Come down, come and see it. Honestly, it's free. There's loads of workshops. It's really good fun.
Thank you. Thank you.